So here we are in the high country of Victoria. We're actually riding up to this place called Mount Terrible along this track here. It's a freaking stunning views along this track. Pretty easy track. The cool thing about it is, see that track there on the left? That's like the hard version. So you can choose either the pretty casual version or you can go pretty extreme and go up those little pinches. But yeah, I'm leading a group of about 13, pretty casual adventure riders. No one on this team of mine is particularly, like a hard adventure rider. There's no Poltares in this group, so we're all just sort of getting from point A to point B and enjoying the scenery and the incredible views. The event's called the High Country ADV Classic, and we try and run it every year in about November, being a pretty good time to get up into the high country. Temperatures ranging between sort of at the highest points that we were maybe about 12-13 degrees, and at the lowest points 25 degrees. So here we are at Mount Terrible Hut at about, I think it's about 1,300 meters, and the views are just phenomenal. This place is just incredible. Be a great place to actually stop and camp, and you could do a lot of tracks just in this area alone, just camping from here. So highly recommended for adventure bike riders to come up here, or you can jump onto the High Country Adventure and see it with a group of like-minded individuals. Mount Terrible, here we are. This is Mount Terrible Hut. So there's like a fire station there, maybe. Heater tower. Yeah, that's Bulla over there. Mount Bulla with a cloud on it. Stunning country. So this loop is absolutely epic. It just takes you along the very top ridgeline of this Mount Terrible section, which is sort of down near Jamison, in sort of south of Mansfield there, and it's just a never-ending escarpment of stunning views and just great riding. There's not your typical 6,000 erosion mounds along here, so the riding itself's all pretty easy. As I was saying before, it's not extreme at all. The biggest thing you have to really be careful of is the fact that you're so in awe of what you're seeing that you might miss something on the track ahead, like a big rock or an erosion mound. So it's really is such a stunning place to ride. This was sort of midweek, I think a Wednesday, this was a Thursday morning, and we were riding up there and we didn't see a single other person. It wasn't school holidays or anything like that, so we didn't see anyone at all. Actually, in this section here, we sort of missed the main turnoff on Mount Terrible Road and ended up going up one of these pinches. So as you can the video never shows it justice, but it's pretty steep, and it's got a huge gutter there, which wasn't easy for some of the guys. We ended up I went over the top and just checked the downhill, and it was pretty serious, so we just turned around and went back here. But there's a little 390 going up. Actually, the young lad, this was his first adventure ride, and he did a full 3 days and did really well on that little KTM 390 actually. There's a big Triumph. He did really well as well. Excellent rider, a lot of experience, and punted that big beast around for the whole 3 days. And here we're sort of coming down on the other side of Mount Terrible into Big River.
G'day mate, how you going? Not bad, yourself? Yeah, pretty good. There's 10 more of us. I'll pull up here and let you know. I'll count to 10. Yeah, no dramas. Have a good one. You too, brother. See ya.
we run the corner man system on these rides, which is pretty good. So the guy at the back's always got his vest on.
How you going? I'm the nobody. But there's 10 other of us coming.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
I'll look out.
Okay.
Now.
The last one's got a yellow vest like this on. Cheers.
Thank you.
See ya.
Now we're based out of Merrijig, so this is the beginning of day 2, and we just rode up to the top of Mount Buller. It was a stunning, cleared, beautiful day, and we decided to go up and just check out the magnificent views from up here. You can, like, wherever you go, you're just in awe of what you're seeing, especially considering, you know, a lot of us are from the flats of South Australia and places like that where you don't actually get to come out and see this type of view very often, besides, you know, maybe in the Flinders or something like that. So yeah, we're just cruising along. You know, there's a lot of chairlifts and all that type of stuff, and we're going to, you know, the last place that you can possibly drive to, which is over the top of this hill, which, you know, this place, I've been here before when it's snowing, and I think there was like 10 or 12,000 people here. And it's funny seeing it without snow, because you recognise, you know, all the different slopes that generally, you know, you'd be skiing or snowboarding down, and it's good to see it, you know, without any snow on it. And the amount of work and stuff that's going on up here is pretty cool as well. There's so many tradies and that type of stuff up here. Here you've got, you know, a bit of a lake on top of the hill. Looks like a man-made thing, maybe fresh water, not sure. But yeah, it is, you know, when you're riding along here, you really got to, you know, stay concentrated, because you just can't believe what you're seeing. It'd really be, you know, a good experience. It's probably the closest thing that we've got to, you know, riding some parts of the USA or even, you know, Europe. It's certainly a stunning place, and easily accessible to anyone on an adventure bike. I mean, you could probably even, you know, you'd have no problems getting up here on a scrambler or even a road bike. You'd have no issues getting up here and seeing these stunning views. So highly recommended getting out to the top of Mount Buller. And now if you're real keen, you can dismount and walk up that hill there on your left, but none of us were doing that with our motocross boots on. Coming down through Mount Buller village, this place is it's excessive. The amount of cash that people throw at just this place is phenomenal. Half of these things are these buildings here, the smaller ones, are all just privately owned. Yeah, top of Mount Buller. Yeah, might put myself up a little 10-bedroom chalet, you know, in case I want to go skiing once or twice a decade. And yeah, it's just excessive. Stunning though. I mean, you know, if you had the coin, you'd certainly consider this place to be high on the priority list. Oh, there's one for sale there. Yeah, to put your little chalet on, that's for sure. It's quite, you know, the people here are really cool. Everyone waves. There's no issues with motorcyclists, and that's really one of the good things about Victoria. Motorcycling, adventure bike riding, all of that, and even enduro riding and that type of stuff it's promoted, it's encouraged. Go to the High Country, ride your motorbike, get covered by TAC, which is their excellent cover for anyone that does ride a motorcycle. You can even get recreational registration on your motorbike if you only really want to do, you know, 4x4 tracks and things like that, and you're still covered to up to 80% of your wage if you come off and hurt yourself, which is just the best system. Is in South Australia they don't have anything like that. In New South Wales, I think they're trying to push for it, and it would be great to see that type of level of coverage Australia-wide. Here we are at the Hauka Huts, So as you come down from Buller, you go on a bit of a backtrack and pop out here at Howker Huts. Then we wanted to go over Mount Sterling to get to Craig's Hut, but that didn't happen because we were a couple of days short, and that track was actually closed. We could have gone around up the monument track, but it was pretty hectic, so we just did the casual thing and cruised around the long way, and it was stunning, absolutely beautiful. Just pop down off this little pinch here where the huts are, and all these huts, they're all just free camping. You know, if you're lucky enough to rock up and there's no one there, go berserk, stay in the huts, write your name in the book. That's about it. Love that type of system. I remembered, going through some of the southern areas of Perth, Western Australia, and they had the same type of things as well. This is that main road that winds its way around to Craig's Hut. It's a really nice road, great to ride. It's quite, it's all hard pack. You know, it's not really slippery. There's not much in the way of marbles along here. There was a little bit of traffic here and there, but minimal. As long as you're, you can see a long way ahead along this track. So as long as you're sticking to your lane, it's pretty cool. Nothing too much to worry about. The trees are just massive in this area. It's just stunning, and the road itself, it's like paradise. It's adventure riding paradise. You can get out right on the edge into the marbles, and let that back tyre get shredded if you want. Now we're just taking off on the track that actually leads up to Craig's Hut. This is a ripper of a track. This is where all your erosion mounds start, and I think I got the big Norden behind me there. We were having a good old scrap up through here. It was a phenomenal track to ride on. It's just erosion mound after erosion mound, heaps of fun. It's quite straight. Does get a few hairpin turns here and there, but you can see quite a long way ahead of you, so it's really good for just confidently blasting up, no dramas at all. I have come down here once last year, actually at the beginning of this year, on another ride, and there was some horses, so always keep that in the back of your mind. Generally, if you do come across a group of horse riders, I'll instantly just kill the bike, stop the bike, wait for them to pass on, or wait for them to give you instruction as to what they want you to do. And in doing so, the feedback you get from them is really good. I mean, we want to make sure that no one's horse, goes flying off because their horse freaks out about the motorbike. So keep that in the back of your mind.
How you going?
Good.
It's about 12 bikes coming, so I'd let you know.
Should I just wait here maybe?
Oh, if you want to, man, if you haven't got,
Alright, yeah.
not in too much of a hurry.
Nah.
We'll be through in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Cheers. Have a great day.
Personally, I like to, give all the traffic a bit of a heads up if they're not in too much of a hurry, just as to what they can expect around the next corner, and a few bikes behind us, and try and give them accurate numbers and just let them know. Just out of respect and making sure that the people that you're leading through here, have the safest possible access. They don't want some fool driver or car driver, unaware and not caring about you, coming around the corner and putting you into a tree. So really simple. If you're in a group of riders, man, just give people the heads up. Yeah, most of you probably would anyway, but it's definitely the worth doing for people because they love it, and it gives us a good name, or a better name. We've already got an awesome name. I mean, look at us, we're adventure riders. I mean, everyone just stands in awe of our just epicness, don't they? So yeah, this is a brilliant track, winding its way up to that brilliant little hut called Craig's Hut, which most of you will know from the Man from Snow River, and yeah, it's just an iconic place everyone has to see in the High Country. Super amazing place to have a look at. The hut itself, I don't think it's anything special, as in it's not like some historical hut. I think it was actually made from memory just for that movie, and then it's been maintained ever since. So again, when we got up here, there was bugger all people here, and we had the place pretty much to ourselves. And then within 20 minutes, there was like 6,000 people here. It was crazy. I don't know where they all came from, but yeah, we got swarmed after that. But this is the car park to Craig's hut. Day 3 sees us cruising down this epic track. It runs sort of out the back of Merrijig and Mansfield, and it's called Evans Creek Track.
I'm going to leave you here, man.
What's that?
I'll leave you here.
Yeah. Which way do you want me to point them?
I don't know.
So this track's got a fair few more challenging options in it. As you can see, you come down some pretty steep sort of terrain, and I'm talking like 50% steep of what the steepest stuff is here. So most adventure bikes will get down that, no dramas at all. Even, you know, riders that have only been riding for a couple of years, it's all pretty easy. So it actually ends up coming out to one of the best adventure riding, you know, passe places or tracks in this side of the High Country. Stunningly beautiful track that sort of winds its way along the edge of a river, and it has everything. It's got all these epic erosion mounds, and you're pretty flat, so you're pretty good on them. You don't have any real challenging erosion mounds. And it just winds its way just stunningly. It's so much fun to ride this track. It's just so beautiful. It's flat, it's easy, and you can really take your mind off the actual riding. You know, oh shit, am I going to make it up this or whatever, to just enjoying the flowiness of this beautiful adventure riding track. You can always see a fair way down the track as well, which makes it really easy and really safe. You can see if there's any oncoming traffic or any other bikes or things like that. So as long as you pull it in nice and tight around those blind corners, you're pretty much fine to use most of the track most of the time. Just on the right here, there's some brilliant, awesome camping spots. Imagine bringing the family to a place like this for the weekend. You've got, some free huts. Most of these camp spots have got long drop toilets and things like that as well, which really helps. Not everyone, or the main thing it helps is there's a lot of places that don't have toilets, and when you pull up there, you walk 10 meters off into the bush to have a piss or something, and there's like toilet paper just everywhere and just people just shitting. So that's why they put these long drops in, and most people use them, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's not a nice sight to rock up at a campsite or even like places that have got epic views. People that don't have toilets, people will just crap everywhere. It's bloody annoying, to be honest. So yeah, enough of my ranting. This track, Evans Creek track, goes down to the King Valley, basically. There's a parallel track to this, a bit further off Buckland Spur track, which you can take as well. It's actually called Buckland Spur, and it's way harder, so a lot steeper, quite hardcore for the standard adventure bike rider, and you don't really need to take it unless you're really trying to challenge yourself. So this is it's a really good track if you just want to adventure ride.
Great track, isn't it?
That's lovely.
Someone has to stay.
Back into it again, and it never ends, this beautiful track. It might have changed to a different name, I can't remember, but as long as you're coming off Buckland Spur onto Evans Creek, then you can't go wrong. Massive trees along here, and again, just stunning riding, flat riding. You come down the hill and then you're sort of riding through this wicked valley, erosion mound after erosion mound. You can see miles ahead of you most of the time, and then there are a couple of little steep pinches, but they're fun as well. So Evans Creek track, is on my top 10 tracks just to ride in the high country. It's one of those tracks you can't get sick of. It's just beautiful. Probably might avoid it if it was hammering, because there's quite a lot of clay through it, so it might get a bit challenging in sections there. Or if there'd been a lot of rain, or continuous rain, because as soon as that clay gets wet, the high country certainly turns into a different place, that's for sure. So while it's nice and dry and hard packed, summertime, get up there, Evans Creek track, off Buckland Spur, can't go wrong at all. Comes out at King Valley, beautiful place to ride. So we try and hold this ride once a year, definitely in November. We were going to have an event similar to this in November 2022, but for some reason the weather just decided it would flood the whole of the high country, so we couldn't actually put that event on. We actually moved it to March. So when we do have this event, this adventure riding event, we like to have it in November, weather conditions permitting. If not, we probably would move it to March, to make sure that everyone was safe and was having fun. Because there's nothing worse than rocking up, doing a ride, and a track that would usually take you 45 minutes ends up taking 6 hours. You don't pay to be tortured on a motorcycle ride, do you? So if you actually did want to come on one of these rides, or any of my rides at all, I do a bunch of different adventure rides all around South Australia and Victoria. Flinders Classic is a big one. The next ride that we're doing is an enduro ride. It's again here, based out of Merrijig in the Vic High Country, and it's a 3-day enduro/hard enduro ride. So if you're into the wild stuff and on small bikes, 300 two-strokes, 250s, 450s, all of that type of stuff, we've got a 30-place ride, massive team of leads and sweeps, 2 different categories. So you got E1, being you guys that really like to travel bugger all distance but do it extremely hard. So these guys, they are loving it. They're having a great time on their 300s. They're just, you might do 50, 60, 70 Ks in 6 hours, and that's the type of riding they love doing. And then we've got our trail riding type scenario where you get to do, all the epic 4x4 tracks and things like that all through that side of the high country, and you'll do 150 Ks instead of 50 Ks. So excellent ride. It's called the High Country Classic, and it's on in March next year. you can check it out on isi.net.au, and yeah, jump onto the website. All the events will be loaded up by New Year's. That event's already up now. We also have a like an early bird system, so we have a membership to EMA, which is Extreme Motorsports Association, which is non-for-profit, and we run all of our tours and rides and events through there, and it's all based around basically raising money for the Black Dog Institute for suicide prevention. So it's a really important cause, and motorcycle riding is one of those things. Once you're on your bike, once you're in the zone, once you're blasting over obstacles, flying down tracks, none of those outside concerns bother you at all. You don't even think about it. All you think about is what's going underneath your front wheel, and that, for some people, for me especially, is all I really need to keep me sane, and not thinking about all the other stuff that happens, and all the day-to-day grind things that stress you out, and family and all of this type of stuff. It can all be just turned off, and you can just focus on your motorcycle, and what you're doing. So it's really, really an important thing, I think, and every motorcyclist pretty much knows that. So, and that's why we're the most insane yet sane people around, aren't we? So yeah, heaps of different events. We have private tours, we have public events, Flinders Classic, Flinders Adventure Classic, High Country Classic, High Country Adventure Classic, and we have another event down at Robe for enduro riders called Robe Rage, which we're doing again this year. And yeah, so if you want to stay up to date with pretty much all of those events and things like that, isi.net.au. You can check us out on Facebook as well if you want into the Flinders side of things. It's Flinders Rangers Motorcycle Riding on Facebook, and you've also got Iceberg Stew Industries on Facebook as well, where I post up most of this stuff. Yeah, you can check me out on YouTube as well, which may be where you're watching this, for all the longer videos and things like that. So on YouTube, Iceberg Stew. My handle is actually @ADV Rider Australia. So that's that, little handle thing that they give you these days. I haven't even tried searching for it, so I wouldn't have a clue, but you'll definitely get my channel at Iceberg, ICEBERG, and then Stew, STU. So 2 words. You'll be able to find me on YouTube. No dramas at all. This is the last descent as you're sort of coming down into the King Valley. It is just beautiful coming down through here. The events that we run are pretty much all catered. So you rock up, we stay at one place, and we do cloverleaf type rides out of that one place. So the glory of that is you're riding your bike without any luggage. So it's like you're riding your adventure bike, but as an enduro bike. So you really get to know what your bike feels like in that lightweight type situation. So much fun. They're like big trail bikes, these things. It's epic to be able to ride a full day and not have to worry about your bags and all that extra weight on your bike. So much fun.